The forwards coming back and the defensemen playing well. Don't forget about those goalies, as Hasek just came up really big there.
Fetisov golfs that one to the far side, and Mogilny takes a swipe at it, but it comes off a skate. Now it's Czechoslovakia on the attack. Black gets it back. Oh, a chance, and again that one goes high. Baka trying to work it out front. Mogilny now picks it up. Headmanning the puck. Khomatov. Yashkin along the boards, and it really is getting tight, and it's getting physical. Every time they touch the puck, the bodies fly, the sticks go up. This could be dangerous. Hasek is down, the pads are stacked, and the puck is still lying there. Action all around Hasek, and there was no one there to poke it in the net. Well, Fetisov goes back for it, and the Soviet Union have had so many chances here in the second period to score a goal. Prohatska loses out, and back come the Soviets. Kvartalnov getting it up. Hasek comes out and pokes it away. Dolezal gets it over to the far side.
Well, both teams are checking very closely at this point. It's entertaining to watch when you see good hockey with good checking. No high sticks. There haven't been a lot of penalties in this game, and it's been a very clean, hard-hitting affair.
And to add to the close checking, we're finally seeing some shots on goal. Leo Gudas with the score level here in the second period. Kvartalnov taken out of the play, dumped to the ice, and he felt that one. Coming back at the midway stage of this second period, Kazatanov backhands it in. Prohatska, as the teams change lines. Konstantinov now dumping it up, and the Czechs are getting more physical by the moment.
They sure are, as the Soviets are keeping their head up all the time here, as they're getting hit everywhere.
Well, Ruzicka now on the left wing. Ruzicka, that came off a skate, but it's still in Czech possession. Seeger cruising out front. There's a penalty going to the Soviet Union. The referee's arm was in the air, and as soon as the Soviets touched it, the whistle blew. Chernik is going into the penalty box, so the Czechs will have a man advantage. We'll be right back with that power play in just a moment. Second period here at the Globe Arena, a 1-1 game between the Soviet Union and the Czechoslovakian side, and the Czechs with the man advantage. A power play situation as Serban gets it into Svitek. Looking for Yanecki. Ruzicka is out there. Seeger is out there. Krutov happy just to skate with that puck and tie up the attackers there. Ruzicka now drops it back. Svitek, a rink-wide pass. Ruzicka dropping it to Staviana. A lazy shot in for Serban. Over to Ruzicka. Still trying to get this shot away as Staviana keeps that one in. Seeger fires it all the way around, but Kusarov comes up with the puck, and now Makarov has it. Makarov, watch him, he's going to rag it, skate it over the blue line, the red line. Oh, and a lovely move by Makarov, and he still got it. Brought to the ice by Seeger, and that's going to be a penalty. Well, Makarov encouraged that, didn't he?
Well, he sure did. He held that puck for quite a while. Seeger was coming up behind him and doesn't totally agree with the call, as I feel that in his mind he thinks that he just had Makarov's stick with his stick. As you see the replay there, the referee didn't quite see it that way, as it looked like he had tripped him on the play or hooked him. One or the other, the referee didn't like it.
Well, from a power play situation, they go back to both teams level here. Both teams with a man in the penalty box here in the second period. 1-1 the score, still anyone's game. Back to the point, a long shot wide of the target. Kuchera wrestling with Bykov. Bykov, a prolific goal scorer, loses out to Baka. Kuchera now. Oh, to Bykov, he gave that away. The puck bouncing all over the place. Bykov calling for it, he picks it up. Poke check nicely by Kuchera as he lost his stick. Seba loses out. Some good forechecking here. Excellent play by the Soviet Union. Bykov doing a lot of work out there. Fedosov touches it when both men have a man in the penalty box, so they're level, and that's icing.
Well, the Russians forced that icing call, that's for sure, as their forwards are really on top of the Czechs in their end. Czechs couldn't do anything but take that icing call.
So we look at the bench, the Czech bench, as they change their forward line. Seba coming off. And the coach there barking out a few words of wisdom to his players on the bench. Well, we hope they're words of wisdom anyway.
Well, I would think so at this point, but another note to mention is referees, how much abuse they take. If you've noticed, we talked about a close checking game. There's been a lot of linesmen flying and catapulting along the boards as well, as they're taking a bit of a beating as well.
Chernik getting ready to get back on the ice. So the Soviets put their man out on the ice and going all the way back for it. Kazetanov, he wrestles with Kuchera and eventually up on the wing. Fedorov drops it back. Just a few seconds remaining on the penalty to Czechoslovakia. Konstantinov over to the far side. Konstantinov calling for it. He winds up. The shot was deflected. Mogilny tries to get a handle on it. Back to the point, Kazetanov. He's got Fedorov. Oh, a long shot from a sharp angle by number 22, Konstantinov. And the puck being pushed forward. The goal has been dislodged, and so we'll have a face-off. Well, that could have been Hasek doing this. Try to keep your eye on the goaltender. The shot there, well, he moves into it. It did look accidental, but it's an old goaltender's trick. When you're under pressure, just give that bar a little nudge and then say you're sorry.
Yes, I'm not so sure about the language barrier, but Hasek was trying to point out to the ref that it was definitely accidental.
Well, Hasek, who's been around international play for a long time, knows exactly what to do when the heat is on. Fedorov with Mogilny on the wing. Mogilny now working his way in. Still a power play situation. Not long on the penalty to Seeger as he gets ready to step back on the ice. Konstantinov working his way in. Fedorov couldn't control that, and that's dumped down. Seeger's going to pick it up. Two-line pass is the call. He was over the red line. The pass originated from inside the blue line. And of course, Richard, that rule has been introduced to avoid net hanging.
Oh, that's true, as the term net hanging comes from players, forwards who definitely like to play just offensive hockey, who would happen to stand down close to the other team's blue line a lot and look for that long pass for a free breakaway. Well, they've cut that out. Basically, you've got to work a little harder for it than that.
The Soviets now in on the backhand side, cleared away by Kuchera. 1-1 still a score here in the second period. It really is close. Play going both ways from time to time. Baka still with the puck, taken out of the play now. Chernik coming to the rescue. Kimlev to Kuserov. Kuserov, a nice move by him as he gets it up. Vartlalnov loses out, and Kuchera tries to dump it into Ruzicka, who is standing flat-footed on the blue line. The Soviets, Biakin, stick handling nicely around two men. Still it's Biakin. Biakin's got Kimlev. Biakin taken out of the play. Kuchera comes in now, and they're going to hold that one against the boards as Baka was happy for the whistle to blow. They'll change their lines. And a nice little move by number 6, Ilya Biakin. Let's watch him.
Well, Biakin took that puck all the way down the ice. Made a nice attempt, but he got himself a little bit away from the play. And there was good back checking there as he was taken out.
We hear so often about Makarov, Krutov, Larionov, Fedosov, but the Soviets do have a lot of depth in their team, don't they?
Oh, there isn't a player on that bench or on the team in general that can't put the puck in the net, as anybody's dangerous out there.
Well, the LA Kings and the Montreal Canadiens supported here in Sweden. And both of those teams still in the playoffs in the National Hockey League. As we get back to the Group A World Ice Hockey Championships here between the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia. Here in the second period, it's 1 goal apiece. Fedosov getting it up on the left wing. Seba goes back for it. Icing the call.
Well, there was another example of the body being taken. As Fedosov fed that puck up, before the forward even actually touched the puck, he was pinched against the boards by the Czech forward. He couldn't manage to touch it, so the puck went all the way down for an icing call.
Well, these youngsters really enjoying this ice hockey game between the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia. The Swedes love their ice hockey. The Swedish side won the World Championships in 1987. Seba couldn't control that as he's poked out of the play nicely. Larionov, who's been fairly quiet in this encounter so far. Shiryaev getting it up on the far wing. A bit too far for Krutov as Hasek comes out, gets to it first, but it's still a loose puck. Hasek has to skate like the devil all the way back to his net. A good move by him, and we have a whistle on the play. Krutov was wide open there. Makarov saying something to the official as he shakes his head.
Well, you played that position, Paul. Being a goaltender, you know that if you're going to make the decision to come out of that net, you've got to go all the way if you're going to go at all. You don't want to hesitate, and Hasek just kept on going, and he cut off a potential goal by Krutov right there.
Makarov was trailing right where he should be, and he gets taken out of the play, and that's where the penalty occurred. Yuri Seba got him right in the face, and so he'll spend 2 minutes in the penalty box.
I think he might have been concerned about Hasek trying to run back to that net as quickly as possible.
Well, Hasek made a good decision. As you said, once you commit yourself, you got to do it. There's no hesitation on the part of a goaltender. But he made the right move and cut down Krutov, and they didn't get the shot away. But now they have a penalty against them, and it's a power play situation. Going in, Shiryaev. Krutov cruising in the slot right in front of the net. Krutov now. Larionov circles back. Fedosov has it. Fedosov winds up, takes a shot. The goaltender's down. Larionov tried to steer that one by Hasek, but Hasek went down and smothered it. Some good goaltending by Dominik Hasek.
There you see Fedosov with the puck at the point. He gets a nice shot off, and that puck was nicely tipped, and Hasek with those quick reflexes still came up with it as Larionov was right there. There you see Fedosov again. The shot's taken. Larionov, he gets a tip on that. See the reflexes on Hasek as he makes a save and comes right back up to the knees real quickly to have that rebound.
You got to remember that that puck can go, well over 100 miles an hour. It's only 3 inches by 1 inch, and it's made of vulcanized rubber. And for a goaltender to make a save when it's been deflected at that speed right in front of you, well, it's not an easy thing. The Soviets still with the pressure on. Fedosov dumps it in to Larionov. Larionov being tied up. Fedosov falls over the blue line and tries to bring it back in, and he's annoyed with himself, really he is.
Well, the little banging of the stick on the boards, we've all done that from time to time as he's questioning his own ability there for a minute. You won't see him fall like that very often.
Again, on the slow motion replay, no one there. He just got his feet in a bit of a tangle and then tried to bring it back in over the blue line, and offside is the call. So the Soviet Union in a power play situation here in the second period. It really is close. 1 goal apiece. Hasek goes out with number 15, Dolezal, to help kill off this penalty. And as I said before, the Soviets can put on anyone out there, really, on the power play situation.
That was a good point you mentioned before. They don't really have a set power play. They've got any number of people they can throw out there and put a combination together for a goal.
Makarov, Larionov, Kuchera lets him go by. Fedosov fakes the shot. Larionov getting it back to the point. Shiryaev took the shot. It hit a stick. Shiryaev getting it over to Fedosov. Fedosov cruises in to the top of the circle. Oh, right on the target was Krutov. and back comes Czechoslovakia on the backhand side. Kuchera takes a shot wide of the target. Really, the Soviets should have made more of it. Larionov dumping it over to Fedosov. Ruzicka is out there now to help kill off this penalty.
Well, Hasek again came up very big as Fedosov fed that puck right in there nicely.
Seba getting set to come back on the ice. Kuchera takes his man out of the play. Makarov gets it back. That's scooped up by Hasek, and he says, let's have a face-off now that we're back at full strength and get this team organized.
That's right. As that puck was bouncing around, as you see them talking about it together now, played a little bit of an infielder baseball type catch on that. Decided to hold on. Let's get some fresh legs out here on the ice. There you see that play that happened before with Fedosov feeding that puck into Krutov so nicely. And there's a golden opportunity for a goal, but he's robbed by Hasek.
So from the face-off, still 1-1 the score. Ruzicka gets it back. Dumped up along the wing. The Soviets keeping it in, still applying the pressure. Kamensky, shadowed by Seeger. Kamensky's hammered out of the play, and the Czechs come up with it. Not out. Khomatov. Bykov going in on the backhand side. That's upstairs into the back of the net. He lights the lamp and makes it 2-1. Bykov with a brilliant backhander. Hasek was going for the pass, I think. Let's look at it again. Richard, quite a goal.
It was nice forechecking by Bykov and Khomatov as they made the play happen. There you see Bykov, he's in, and he puts the puck nicely up into that top corner from the backhand. There you see the play again as Khomatov gives him a nice pass. Bykov's got a step on him. He pulls the puck on the backhand, and I almost think Hasek went for that pass. As he saw the forward racing in on the side, he kind of bent toward the other player, and Bykov was going for the shot all the way, and he put a nice one up into the top corner.
A lovely goal from a sharp angle, close in, makes the score 2-1 here in the second period. Less than 2 minutes remaining, and Bykov, often overshadowed, as I said before, by guys like Makarov, Krutov, and Larionov, really can't put the puck in the net. An excellent example there of how well he can do it. And Bykov again back on the attack. Khomatov taken out. The Czechs coming back now. Seba steered out of the play. Kamensky racing forward, comes up with it first. Staviana pushes him into the boards. Khomatov taken out, still with the puck now. Well, they never give up, do they? They lose the puck once as Yanecki comes up with it, and then they go back and pick it up a second time. Bodies flying everywhere. Close checking again, and physical. Kron taken out by Kazetanov. On the attack, Bykov. Kamensky with 1 minute remaining takes a shot that's wide of the net. Fedosov now steers one in. Staviana, the pace picking up incredibly here in the dying seconds of this second period.
That's right, and I do hope the Czechs aren't starting to tire, as they're starting to look a little bit ragged after that second goal was put in on them.
A lot of pressure coming from the likes of Bykov, Mogilny, Fedorov, who's out there now, and of course Fedosov. Just 30 seconds to go in this second period. Fedorov couldn't get that. Staviana comes up with it now. Staviana. Vlak. Up on the boards to no one in particular. Kusarov with 15 seconds remaining in the period. A nice poke check by Staviana as he gets it to Vlak. Time for one shot. Drop back nicely. Serban taken out of the play, and back come the Soviet Unions. Just 4 seconds. Staviana gets down, and he steers that one away as the whistle goes. We'll have more action in the third period in just a moment. Welcome back to the third and final period of this game between the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia. The Soviet side leading 2-1, a close checking affair, and Hasek has come up with some big saves.
Well, Hasek has played very well, but the last 3 or 4 minutes of that period, the Russians were all over the Czechs, and I hope they aren't growing weary at this point, because they've got to stay in it.
Makarov with the Soviet Union playing from right to left, getting the puck back to Fedosov. Fedosov checked by Serban, and the Soviets now with Krutov. Krutov looking so relaxed as he skates out there. Makarov shadows, and really the Czechs can't afford to let the Soviet side get too far ahead. Larionov to Makarov. Makarov stops, loses control of the puck, and the Czechs come up with it. Seeger, a long pass into the neutral zone. You can see what they're doing, Rich. They're trying to get that quick breakaway, aren't they? As Stavian drops it back.
That's right. They're trying to push the puck out beyond the forwards of Russia. We're putting a lot of forechecking pressure on them at the moment.
Fetisov trying to knock that one away. The shot. Milnikov was already down on his knees. And back from the Soviet side. Larionov picks up the puck at center, working his way in. Drops it to Krutov. Stick handling nicely. And a good save by Hasek. He went down on his knees and blocked that one, and back comes Ruzicka. Ruzicka taken out of the play nicely as both teams change on the fly. Siriev gets it over to Fetisov. Oh, an incredible check there. Seba hammered his man to the ice. Icing is the call. Interference is being called now by the referee. So we're going to have a penalty on the play. Let's look at there. That's the call. Well, really, it looked like a good check to me.
Well, it looked like it was pretty innocent as the puck was right there at the point of impact. The pass was made. A bit of a killer pass, though, as they're called suicide passes in ice hockey. The player had his back to the oncoming defender, and number 22, Sebia, he just stepped up and really laid it on him.
13,388 people here to see the Soviet Union take on Czechoslovakia. 2-1 the score here in the third and final period. The Soviets now with the man advantage. Yuri Seba in the penalty box for that, well, what I thought was a bit of a doubtful call. Interference. He took the man out. The puck was right there, but nevertheless, they're a man short. So the Soviets with a power play situation. Kusarov getting it in. Behind the net, you can see the box being set up. Khomatov back to the point, a slap shot, steered away at the defense, and back come the Czechs. Remember, they scored once before when they were a man short. Working up on the right-hand side is Yanecki, and they're happy just to dump it in and kill off this penalty. Kron going in to take his man out of the play, and the Soviets dumping it all the way down. Yanecki calling for it. Kuchera shadows, back to the point, a fake shot, Kamensky behind the net. Khomatov, Kamensky works his way right in front. The pass came out, but Yanecki was there to pick it up. Kuchera presses his man against the woodwork. Yanecki falls, and they're going all over the place. And eventually the Soviets, Khomatov comes up with a puck. Back to the point, a long shot, steered away. Still not out. The action all around the Czechoslovakian end, right in front of the net. And eventually Hasek comes out and gets a well-deserved round of applause from the spectators here. The puck buzzing all around the Czechoslovakian net.
That's right, but I'll give the Czech defenseman some credit here. As you see both of them in front of that net, they're not giving up a lot of ground. Hasek does make a nice save there, but the Czechs are taking him out well in front of the net.
Dominik Hasek, one of the best goaltenders in Europe. Could be one of the best in the world. So Yuri Seba still in the box, sweating out the remaining seconds as Kuchera dumps it to an open wing. A long pass back, and the Soviets looking to get something going. Still the Soviets. Fedorov. Fedorov. Yashkin. Yashkin getting it back to the point. Seba getting set to come back on the ice. Soviets still trying to get a shot away before this penalty is spent. But Hasek again with Yashkin right on the doorstep. Comes up with a save.
Well, that was a tough play there as Yashkin was wide open in front, but Hasek doesn't leave many rebounds out. His defenseman came to his aid. There's the puck going in. The puck is loose for a minute, but Hasek hasn't lost sight of it, and he covers it up. The defensemen come in quick. Gudas was one of them. Not to let that Soviet keep hacking away at their goalie.
Well, you can see what happens when a forward goes after a goaltender. He really has to have eyes in the back of his head because defensemen are coming from all sides, and they'll knock you down if they see you, if they're seeing you taking a pop shot at their goaltender. Hasek now steers it away from Serban, and that goes up on the wing. The Soviets still with the pressure on. The Czechs back to full strength. Czechoslovakia. Hasek. Looking for someone to pass to. Kimlev. Still, it's Kimlev working his way out on his own. He really should get rid of it at that stage and dump it in. Trying to stick handle through too many players. Well, not a particularly good pass as Siriev goes all the way back for it.
That's right. The Soviets might want to start dumping the puck in as the Czechs are really back-checking well.
Right in front of the net, a loose puck there. Milnikov couldn't control as it went right across the goal mouth. A chance there for Czechoslovakia. Still, the Czechs with a puck behind the net. Hasak losing out. Kimlev. So the action going right up and down the ice. Both goaltenders seeing their fair share of the rubber as Makarov steps on the ice. Makarov getting it in the corner. Krutov right out front. Oh, and they just missed that one as Hasak got his glove on it first. Some excellent goaltending from Dominik Hasek.
Well, the defensemen were caught a bit flat-footed here. As you see, the Soviets are skating all over, and he goes all the way around behind the net. Man is wide open in front of the net. That's Kastanov.
Coming around here, you see red shirts all over the place, and they get the shot away, but Hasek is equal to it. 2-1 the score here in the third and final period. Czechoslovakia not out of it yet. Kuchera headmanning the puck. Ruzicka fires it in, and they chase. Konstantinov dumps it up into the neutral zone, and Ruzicka gets it over to the far side. Both teams doing some excellent back-checking. So difficult as Makarov works his way up to get a shot away. Makarov now right in front of the net. Again is robbed by Hasek. Makarov couldn't get that bouncing puck. Steered away. Krutov now right in front. And again, Hasek has to come up for the save. The difference between these two teams right now has to be Dominik Hasek.
Well, it most certainly is. Kasatonov has been setting up some brilliant plays within the last couple minutes here. As he's put Makarov in once, he had Larionov in there twice. Hasek's been equal to the occasion. As you see the play develop here, Makarov is coming down the ice. He slides the puck over to Kasatonov, and it's right back to Makarov, and it's just up to Hasek to make the save, and he does.
Peikoff in the face-off circle. Loses out. And the Czechs under a lot of pressure here. A long shot, and that's in the net. Komatov, number 15, from Kamensky. Well, the big boys were out there. They couldn't put it in the net, so they send out the second line. Tikhonov is shaking his head. I don't know why. He should be happy. Let's look at this again.
Well, the shot goes in from the point, and this is just hard work by Komatov, as he has a Czech defender all over him. He still manages to stay on that puck and put the puck into the net. There's the shot from the point. Hasek has it for a moment, but Komatov, even with the defender on his back, manages to put it behind him.
So the score, 3-1. And again, Hasek has to come to the rescue. Milnikov at the other end of the rink is having an easy time of it. But really, don't count out Czechoslovakia. A strong side, capable of scoring goals at any time during the game. 5:50 gone in the third period. 3-1 the score. Over 13,000 fans here in the Globe Arena in Stockholm, loving every minute of this action between Czechoslovakia and the Soviet Union. No love lost between these teams. Ballack losing out right in front of the nets. Dangerous play. And eventually Czechoslovakia come up with it. Ballack again, dumping it around. Staviana trying to do something on his own here. Fires it all the way in for Kuchera. Just over the blue line. A step ahead of the puck.
Well, the Czechs have had some close calls there as they've got the right idea. They're trying to break through here. There you see another attempt for a long pass. It's there. The man has got a chance. He's a two-liner.
So the Czechs trying to thread the eye of the needle with that long pass as they break up now. Prohatska going in after it. The Soviets pick it up. The big red machine working it back. Fedorov over the line, looking for someone to pass to. Right in front of the net was Yashkin, and the pass didn't come off. Kuchera taken out of the play. Fetisov now in control. Fetisov losing out. That's just off the side of the net. They tried again. This time they score. Prohatska, number 9, was left alone right in front of the net. The goaltender was down. They missed the first opportunity. The score is now 3-2. Number 9, Prohatska, the goal scorer.
This game is far from over yet, as that was good work by the Czech forwards. That was Hasek in there doing a lot of forechecking. Fans on his shot, gets another chance. It's at the side of the net, but he's up quickly. Makes the pass, Prohaska scores.
Well, you're right, Richard. This game is far from over. We look at this again. Some great forechecking. Join us in a moment for the remainder of the third period. Period 3-2, the score of the Soviet Union over Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia playing from left to right, and still anyone's game.
Oh, most certainly is. As the Czechs put it together there, they caught the Russians sort of sleeping on that play. We'll see what they can do.
Kimlev dumping it up. The Soviets breaking with 3 players. It's very rarely that you see them break with 1, even 2. They go up in 3s, and that's the way a team should break. It's no good going with a forward down against 2 or 3 defensemen.
No, but you're seeing 3 men going up and 3 coming back just as hard, and that's what's made this game as close as it is, as both teams are forechecking tough and backchecking. I think that Mr. Tikhonov had a word with the Russian forwards and said, between the periods, let's make the Czechs cough it up in their own end. They're really forechecking them hard.
Staviana got it over. He's calling for it behind the net. Staviana now. Shadowed nicely by Makarov. You can see the forechecking. The Soviets going right in. So difficult to get organized when you've got someone staring you right in the face. Seba against Kusarov. Kusarov drops it back nicely, and back come the Soviet Union. Over the blue line, the red line now. Krutov. Larionov tried to get that right in front as Makarov was working his way in. The Czechs dropping it back. Makarov picks it up. Makarov looking for someone to pass to. Goes over to number 7, Kazetanov. Trying to get a bit too clever out there as Kusarov gets it over. The Soviets not content with just dumping it in like most teams. A long shot. Steered eventually into the glove of Dominik Hasek.
Well, the Russians are starting to use that neutral ice to their advantage now, as before it was very congested, but at this point in the game they're really staying wide, and you see a lot of motion away from the puck.
Well, you also see a lot of painted faces. Swedish girls with the color of the Swedish national side cheering for, well, whichever team is out there. Right now it's the Czechs against the Soviet Union. Czechoslovakia now on the break. Kuchera trying to get it across to number 21. Valek intercepted nicely. Blocked this time, losing out. Komatov working in a sharp angle. That's right across the goal mouth. Hasek went down and the puck trickled away into the far corner. Bykov was right there but couldn't get a stick to it. Bykov hammered into the woodwork by Kuchera. He's got a fist around the throat, and it really does get physical in the corners.
Well, it does, but he's just making sure that Bykov isn't going to skate away from him with the puck. That's complimentary.
So, getting a bit physical as they mix it up along the boards. Kadlec getting it back to number 3, Gudas. As again, that tight forechecking of the Soviets plays such an important role in the play. The Soviets coming back now. Bykov working it into the corner. Bykov still in there. Kamensky, number 13. Bykov taken out of the play, and the puck trickles down. Going back for it is Kazetanov. This time they dump it in. Both teams changing on the fly. Kadlec. Yashkin picks up that loose puck. Getting a bit sloppy as they get physical along the boards. and this could be a penalty.
Well, the referee's arm went up as the Russian player went down hard. He got hit high. It was a definite high hit. Yashkin went down pretty heavily here. As you see the play in the corner, Kadlec moves over, but that is definitely an elbow in the face.
Well, an obvious one. And Yashkin there picking up his teeth probably after that elbow from Kadlec.
Well, very unnecessary penalty at this point when you're down by a goal this late in the game. You really don't need it.
3-2 the score here in the third period. A chance once again for the Soviets to put on the power play. The Czechs up against it whenever they play the Soviets, but it makes it even more difficult when you're a man short. Dolezal smothers that against the woodwork and will have a face-off.
He seemed to lose an edge there and ended up on top of the puck. But they'll take the face-off and try and reorganize and get this puck out of the zone.
We're at the midway point in the third period. 3-2 the score. Dolezal. Yashkin is out there with Fedorov for the Soviet Union to try to put the puck in the net on this power play. Going back for it, Kazetanov. The Soviets working their way in over the blue line. Yashkin just a bit too keen to get over that blue line, and offside is the call. Remember, the puck must be the first thing to go over the blue line.
Oh, that's right. As Yashkin was just a little bit ahead of the play.
Viktor Tikhonov really doesn't give anything away with the look on his face. The Czech coach, Wohl, a bit more animation in his movements behind the net, but Tikhonov is really stone-faced, stands perfectly still.
He does look like he could be a contender for the next face inscribed at Mount Rushmore with that look he gives.
Well, I don't know if the Americans would like that, but the Soviets working in on this power play situation. Dumped into the corner. Still Biakin trying to work it in. Krutov right out front of the net, and they really couldn't get the shot away. The Czechs going down to block the shot that didn't come. 1 minute remaining on the penalty. Back comes Czechoslovakia now, working their way over. Ruzicka got that in his skate. The pass came from Baka, and Makarov now with Krutov. Ruzicka just couldn't control that. He lost it in his skates. And they are so quick to react, even though they have a man in the penalty box. The Czechs, very dangerous indeed when they're a man short. Janicki trying to hold it against the boards. Ruzicka is in there, and eventually it trickles out down the ice.
Well, it's vital that the Czechs keep up this work and kill this penalty off and try and get that equalizer.
They really need to come back into this one. A long shot all the way down the ice again, and of course you can't ice it when you're a man short. Staviana doing the damage there, and you can see Kadlec getting set to jump back on the ice. Janicki forechecking, he misses his man but forces them back in. So the Czechs back at full strength as Fedosov dumps that one in. Kimlev couldn't control it, and it goes all the way down the ice again. Icing the call, and it'll give the teams an opportunity to change their lines.
Well, now is the time. They're 5-on-5 again. The Czechs have got to get the puck in the Russian end and try and create something.
They really have to go for it now. They have absolutely nothing to lose. Time ticking away for both teams. The Czechs need a goal right now to level the score.
One point to mention is we were worried about the Czechs tiring. They certainly haven't shown that at this point, as they've even killed penalties in this period. They're still going strong.
And the face-off over to the far side. Kuchera took a swipe at that, but didn't come up with. This was a shot from point-blank range. Kimlev right on Hasek, but that was a simple one for Dominik Hasek.
That's right. As the puck was shot right at him, he just had to cover it up, take the face-off.
Well, they're still getting shots away from close in. The defense have to move out a bit. They have to be a bit quicker to react and get the stick in there. Hasek, so many times left unprotected in this game, getting shots from 10, 15 feet out. From the draw, again, the Soviets come up with it. Working their way in. Hasek gets a poke at that, steers it away. Black on the puck now. Black, well, overskated it. Still, it's Black. He really is having trouble controlling that puck. Gets it back to the defense. Kadlec now. The Czechs regroup, start to work out, but you can see the forechecking as Kuchera gets it over the far side. Forechecking by the Soviets, stopping them right at their own blue line. Fedosov loses his stick as he takes his man out. Still behind the net. It's Czechoslovakia trying to center it. Behind the net, coming right around on Milnikov. That came out. There was no one there to pick it up. The race is on now. Kamensky working his way in on the breakaway, and that's upstairs in the net. A beautiful solo effort by Kamensky, number 13. Makes the score 4-2, right into the top of the net.
Well, Kamensky turned the afterburners on there as he really pushed the puck by the defender and outraced him. Nice goal. There's a lot of action around the Russian net. The puck comes out to Kamensky. He just pushes it by Kadlec and just says, see you later. He's in on a breakaway, makes a lovely move as he's off balance and puts it over Hasek. One more time, we'll look at that. Here comes Kamensky. This is what Hasek sees. He makes an attempt to go out for it, but he puts it over him nicely.
Well, less than 2 minutes remaining in the game. 4-2 the score. Power play situation for the Czechs. Can they come back into this one? Kadlec. A long shot, wide of the target. They've got enough players in there. Seba gets it back over to Kadlec. Kadlec, a weak shot, goes off a skate. And the Soviets with Makarov getting over to the far wing. They're going to be happy to pass this around. Fedosov clears it down the ice. Siriev looking to get back on the ice as Kadlec touches it. The penalty is up, and the Czechs are back on the attack. The seconds ticking away. Janecki now taken out of the play. Seba is in there. Fedosov shoots it all the way around. 1 minute remaining in the game. 4-2 the score. Kuchera. Kuchera, what can he do? He's got to go forward. Head manning the puck. A long shot. Staviana, that bounces out to Fedosov. Backhanding it up the boards. They're going to play with this puck and waste time as the seconds tick away. Over to the far side, good ragging of the puck.
The Russians are so good at this. They can just control that puck and spread out all over. The Czechs are chasing them all over the place.
Less than 30 seconds remaining. Staviana gets it up on the wing. Can the Czechs come back? Well, Vlach taken out of the play with 20 seconds remaining. 4-2 the score. 15 seconds now as Fedorov gets it back to the defense and picks it up and dumps it all the way down the ice. No time for Czechoslovakia to pull their goaltender and put on an extra attacker. 1 second remaining. Well, there goes the buzzer to end the third and final period. 4-2 the score. A great match. The Czechs really fought hard for this one, but the Soviet Union were just a bit too strong. Coming up next, the Canadians against the Swedes. Join us in a moment.